Ever caught yourself daydreaming about finally owning a Rolex Submariner in 2024? What if there's a hidden allure beneath the surface that's been calling your name all along? Let's plunge into the depths of what makes this diver's watch a living legend. Today we're diving headfirst into the rich details that make the Submariner a true treasure, uncovering the nitty-gritty that might just tip the scales in its favor. And here's the kicker. We're not just armchair experts, we're right there with you on a quest to strap our own Submariners onto our wrists. Before we dive into the dollar signs, let's zero in on something equally key, the fit. Because what's a legendary timepiece worth if it hangs on your wrist like a hula hoop on a pencil? We've whipped up a sub-size guide that spans from the understated 37mm to the bold 41mm, each tied to a specific reference number. Whether you're vibing with the vintage or craving the contemporary, this guide is your secret weapon to scoring that just right fit. Next, let's tackle the lug-to-lug measurement, essentially the secret sauce that determines if a sub fits like a glove or like mismatched socks. We've charted out everything from the classic 16800 to the newbie 2020 model. The majority of subs from the 80s to the 2010s cozy up in the 47.5 to 47.8mm range. But the 2020 model, the 126610, stretches its legs to 48.1mm for a tad more elbow room. Getting this measurement spot on is key. It's what separates a sub that feels bespoke doesn't click. Keep this golden nugget in mind as we dive deeper into the world of the Submariner. If you're over the waiting game with authorized dealers, let's dive into where the real action is. Here's a snapshot that'll make your Submariner hunt a breeze. eBay's rocking a 100% sell-through rate. It's like subs vanish there faster than ice cream on a hot day. But don't just stick to one spot. Carousel, Rolex forums, and yes, even Reddit are treasure troves too. Each platform has its own vibe, so your perfect sub might just be hiding in one of these unexpected corners. Just a tip, always check the seller's reputation to stay on the safe side. Pause for a moment. Why not join our opulent Oasis community? Hit subscribe to stay in the loop. Now let's continue our journey. Let's decode those sky-high Submariner premiums. That steep price tag might make you blink twice, but here's the skinny. Most steel Submariners are actually sliding back toward retail prices. So what's with the chart-topping numbers? It's all thanks to a few vintage and limited editions cranking up the market heat. A quick peek at the fine print shows these rare birds are puffing up the average, making the usual suspects seem almost like a steal. Let's take a deep dive into the Submariner market. We draw the line at the year 2000. Before that, it's vintage. Every collector's dream. After 2000, you're looking at modern marvels packed with the latest Rolex tech. On the Chrono 24 chart, the 126610 is making waves with over 1,460 listings. It's the big fish in the sub-pond. Meanwhile, the 16610 LN is playing hard to find with just 61 appearances. These numbers aren't just digits, they tell you where the market's bubbling. A packed listing count? You're swimming in a sea of options. Sparse listings? You're on the hunt for a rare gem, so be ready to move fast. This data isn't just informative, it's your treasure map to snagging or selling that perfect sub. Let's dive into the vintage Submariner market. Leading the pack is the 1680 model with 1,387 listings. It's the main attraction, much like the big fish at a dive site. Hot on its fins is the 16610 with 1,369 listings, proving that in the world of classic submariners, there's always more than one way to make a splash. Whether you're looking to invest or just admire, these models keep the scene lively and interesting. Now let's dive deeper to uncover a real gem, the 6538 model, with just 21 listings. This one makes collectors' hearts race, like they've just found sunken treasure. While the 1680 and 16610 are the bustling coral reefs of the Submariner world, the 6538 is that hidden underwater cave, rare, mysterious, and a thrill for the fortunate few who discover it. Let's chart a course through the modern Rolex waters, where scoring an affordable Submariner isn't as far-fetched as finding a quiet spot at a rock concert. Kicking things off, we've got the 114060 from 2012, priced at an approachable $9,500. This no-date wonder offers the full Rolex experience without the usual wallet hangover. It's like flying first class on an economy ticket. Next in line is the 116610 from 2010, listed at $10,700. It spices things up with that classic date feature many collectors crave. It's like finding that perfectly fitting glove in a bin of mismatched pairs. And for those who prefer the latest bells and whistles, the 12460 from 2020 steps up at $11,250. It's the priciest of our budget-friendly bunch, but comes loaded with the newest Rolex tech, kind of like upgrading to the latest smartphone right as it hits the market. Now, if you're fishing for serious deals, the 126619LB from the 2020 lineup is a whale, slashing 26% off retail. In Rolex territory, that kind of discount could make a collector's heart skip a beat. Not far behind is the 126618L, shining with a 13% discount that brings the yellow gold model within reach, like striking gold in a sea of standard. Rounding out the group, the 126613LN offers a modest 2% discount, proving that even small savings are a big deal in the world of Rolex. Meanwhile, the 126613LB edges just 1% above retail, showing that some classics just refuse to bow to market whims, much like a rock star that never fades. This glimpse into the Submariner market reveals a shift toward more reasonable pricing, a refreshing wave for savvy collectors ready to dive into luxury without completely sinking their financial ships. Let's wind the clocks back and dive into the vintage Rolex Submariners, where each watch isn't just a timekeeper, but a storybook of horological history. We're spotlighting 3 models that let you taste this vintage flavor without selling your car. Leading the charge is the 16800 from 1979, on offer for $9,400. It's the model that brought the quick-set date to the table, making it a bridge between the old guard and the new wave. Think of it as the Submariner getting its first smartphone. Next in line is the 1680 from 1987, priced at a close $9,500. This piece is notable for introducing 904L steel into the mix, a tougher breed of metal that Rolex later adopted across the board. It's as if the Submariner went from wearing leather jackets to armor. Rounding out our trio is the 16803 from 1983, tagged at $9,543. This one blends steel with a splash of gold, giving it a flash of panache without being over the top, like a luxury yacht that's not too flashy for fishing. These models suggest there's a sweet spot around $9,500 for snagging a piece of Rolex history in great condition, with enough old-school charm to make any collector smile. Now for the top-tier collectors, we've got the crown jewels. The 6536 from 1955 leads with a royal 623% premium. It's a ticket back to the genesis of the Submariner, coveted as one of the first of its kind, like owning a piece of the moon. Not far behind is the 1680 from 1967, which boasts a 463% premium. This model was the first Submariner to sport a date function, marrying practicality with pedigree. It's as if it decided to start multitasking. And let's not forget the 5513 from 1962, with a 336% premium. Its long production run makes it a mainstay in vintage collections, beloved for its durability and design evolution, kind of the Submariner that refuses to retire. These aren't just watches, they're pieces of Rolex royalty. While not for the faint of wallet, for those who know their value, these models are the ultimate in luxury collecting, mixing rich history with timeless style. Let's cap off our Submariner saga with a few tips for the watch aficionados out there. If you're looking to don a Rolex on the daily, aim for the 12660. With 1,460 on the market at just $12,970, it's your ticket to daily luxury without the drama. Hunting for something more elusive? The white gold model is as rare as a quiet moment in Times Square, boasting just 17 listings at $131,200. And for those who want a splash of uniqueness without diving deep into their wallets, the Hulk and Kermit models offer standout style at more down-to-earth prices. They're like the secret menu of the Submariner world. Exclusive, but attainable. After navigating the seas of Submariner stats and the long waits at Rolex ADs, here's our game plan. We're sticking with the waitlist, for now. But let's be honest, our patience isn't as deep as the Mariana Trench. With premiums dropping faster than a lead balloon, it's a real race against our own restlessness. Will we cave and start hitting refresh on those listings? Stay tuned. There's definitely a video in the pipeline about this high-stakes game of patience. That's the fun of diving into the Submariner world, right? Whether you're holding out for the perfect piece, hunting a vintage gem, or eyeing the latest models, you've got the insider info to master sub collecting. Use it wisely, snag your dream watch, and don't forget to subscribe to Opulent Oasis for all the latest updates and tips.